Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us for this post-match press conference with Temba Bavuma. As usual, I'd like to just remind everybody to please keep their monitors on mute if you're not asking a question, so as not to distort the sound of the rest of the press conference. And for anybody who would like to ask any questions, to please put them on the chat panel. Is there anybody who'd like to kick us off? Thank you, Ken.
Temba, hard lines there. Last 2 overs going for 43 runs. That's the match there and then, isn't it? I mean, there does seem. Do you think it's fair to say that there's a big skills deficit between what you've seen from the West Indies seam bowlers and what you guys have managed? I mean, obviously your spinners were outstanding again tonight.
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, look, I mean, these guys are experienced, I mean, they're playing in conditions that they know back to front. We've seen the display of their skills, how they've been able to adapt and really put our batters under pressure. I guess in saying that, looking at our bowlers, in terms of our aggression, in terms of our pace, we've always strived on, bowling on quick, bouncy wickets, but I mean, that's a skill set that becomes null and void in these type of conditions. So yeah, maybe we have been found wanting in that department. I think, like you said, to concede 40 in the last 2, I think it was actually 60 in the last 4. That's criminal.
Evening, Temba. Thanks, Sipakazi. Temba, you've made mention of a couple of times post-match talking about the batting and saying that you feel that 180 is something that your side can achieve, and you said again now that there's going to have to be more chats. What kind of talks are taking place about how the batsmen can, I guess, change their mindsets and be a bit more aggressive as far as what they're doing out in the middle is concerned?
Yeah, so I think looking at how we've gone about planning our batting innings, we've identified that the first 10 overs is probably where it's easier to bat. The first power play, I think we've been good, managing to get scores in excess of 55. We've tried to carry on that momentum, that intensity throughout the 7 to 10 mark, and I think we've been good. So, I mean, that's our chat. The challenge, especially in these conditions, is to keep up that type of intensity after the 10th over and really set ourselves on to dominate that last 10 overs of the innings. That's where we found it tough as batters. Pace being taken off the ball getting soft at the end. So, I mean, from a skill point of view as batters, that's something that we also need to figure out. I guess there's not much time really for us to improve our skills. It's conversations all that we can do now. But yeah, those are the type of conversations that we've been having.
Thank you.
Hi, Temba. Temba, could you just speak a little bit about team balance and kind of things like, who do you see as the finisher in the innings? Why do we have situations where Aiden Markham is opening the bowling? And do you think a seam bowling all-rounder will come back into the mix at some point?
I'm sure a seaming all-rounder will come back into the mix. I think where we find ourselves at the moment, speaking about the balance of the team, is that we're looking for someone who can effectively play that 6th bowling role. I guess if you look at a guy like Aiden, he gives you more than just the bowling option. He's someone that we see as versatile in terms of his batting position, where he can bat at the top as well as bat in the middle. And he's been given that opportunity now, albeit in tough conditions. From a bowling front, that we haven't nailed down. And again, that's something that we kind of need to look at and look who we have within our resources. In terms of combinations within the team, I mean, probably conversations can happen between, who can partner with Queenie at the top. Riza is the guy at the moment, and we believe that he's done it well, in the past. And in terms of finisher, we've got David. David is our seasoned finisher. He's done it for many years. Fortunately, at the moment, he's battling with the run and form, as are a number of batters. So Yeah, I think I've spoken a lot there, but I hope I've given you enough.
Thank you.
Dennis, and then we're open for one last question. Please indicate in the chat panel if you'd like to take it.
Thanks, Temba. You actually almost answered my question, but if I can just push you to go a bit more in depth, are you happy with the structure of the batting lineup at the moment? Do you think that the structure currently, who walks in where, is the ideal structure that you have in the batting lineup?
I think the batting lineup, as it stands, I mean, it's not set in stone. There's definitely room for us to be flexible and try different combinations. I mean, like I said, we've got Riza at the top, who partners up with Kwani. You've got myself in at 3, and you've got Aiden in at 4. And I think opportunities have been given to guys to see the different roles that they can perform. The guys who bat in the middle, you know, are generally guys who will bat in the middle. I don't see there being too much of a change there. But yeah, our batting order is flexible at the moment. I think from my side at least, there's no panic stations. We welcome a situation where guys are being put in certain positions, in pressure situations, and are being asked to do the job for the team.
Ken, and then we'll finish with Salford.
Temba, Lungi has really struggled this series. I mean, Lungi and Gidi, he was a bit better in the previous T20, but again today really struggling. You've got guys like Sisanda Magala and Lizard Williams in the squad who have done really well domestically in T20 and are kind of almost white ball specialists. What do they need to do to get into the squad, into the starting 11? What's holding them back from having a go, even if it's a decider?
Yeah, Ken, I think you're right in terms of, you know, the bowling resources that we have. We'll definitely have to look at those guys and see what role that they can play. I think, I mean, a guy like Lizard kind of comes to mind. Sanda, in my understanding, is he's struggling with an ankle niggle at the moment, so he is not up for selection. But you know, in terms of the bowling, guys like Lizard, guys like Biren, you know, they'll come back into the picture. Yeah, we'll see what team that we finalize for Saturday.
Finally, Salford.
Temba, before tonight, you've come through 2 competitive games and won them batting first. Did it make a big difference that you were batting second today?
All the games have been tight, actually. I think I was actually thinking about that. To be honest with you, Telford, I think the way we lost the game wasn't so much about us batting first or batting second. I think, you know, like I said, from a bowling front, you concede a 20 run over starting up. That's going to put you under pressure, whether you're bowling first or bowling second. You finish off your bowling innings like that. That doesn't matter when you're bowling. And also with the batting, like I said, you know, batters didn't pitch up. You know, Quinny was alone. So I really don't think that it would have made much of a difference. I think their plans would have been the same, to be honest. Take pace off, get us to hit to the long boundary, get the ball outside of our hitting arc. So yeah, that I stick to my decision in terms of bowling first. Yeah.
Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good evening, and I'll send you some content tomorrow morning, as usual. Take care.
Thanks, Temba. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.